Yoghurt on the floor. Yes, it's the football.
Is that a euphemism? Is that a euphemism, Peter?
Yes, on fallow ground, I'm going to spill my yoghurt. Biblical.
Yeah, is it
Yes.
biblical? Sounds
Yeah,
like it
I
is.
think
Is yoghurt in the Bible?
It's an anti-masturbation Jesus creed.
Like cornflakes.
Yeah.
Like cornflakes, indeed, yeah. It's Football Ramble Mailbag, a chance for you to ask questions.
Do you think everyone knows the cornflake story?
What, that cornflakes were invented to prevent onanism in young men
Yeah, by Mr. Kellogg.
by Mr. Kellogg.
He seems to have spent a lot of his
Kinky
time
little
talking about
fucker.
onanism in young men.
Kinky little fucker. Well, if
You need him. You eat him every day first, Mr. Kellogg. See if they work.
see if they work. Yeah.
Yeah.
Seem to be obsessed with this.
You seem to be
question, don't you? Yeah.
getting a good old grip of the starter handle every morning from what I can make out.
Luke Moore. We're basically, to let people behind the scenes, we're moving studios at the moment, and this is the last show that will ever be recorded in this studio.
Iconic studio, yeah.
And he's talking about wanking.
Well,
Unbelievable.
you've just put your yoghurt on the floor,
I've just
and
put
you
my
took a
yoghurt on the floor.
circular saw to your own mic stand.
I'm getting
minutes ago.
I brought my. It's not circular saw, it's an angle grinder,
All
isn't
right,
it?
fine. There we go.
See if Ow! Sparks!
Yeah, you don't get that on any other football show, do you?
No, you really-
Probably for legal reasons, I expect.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Health and safety.
Yeah.
They've got health and safety policies.
Yeah.
But yes, we are tearing down.
What's it like, the show? They bring angle grinders in. It's like the world's shittest Berghain sex show.
Correct.
It's like a
Correct.
Ramstein
Yeah.
gig, but crap.
Well, if you want to get involved in this crap Ramstein gig, you just get involved with the mailbag, ask a question, send us a picture of your dog, whatever. Tweet us on X at Football Ramble, message us on Instagram, and Blue Sky at Football Ramble. Email us show at footballramble.com. And of course, friends of the Ramble can get involved and prioritise, let's be very clear, on the Discord. You can also leave a comment over on YouTube.
Do you think people use Blue Sky still?
It shone rather bright, didn't it, Blue Sky? And then I get the sense that people have cooled on the old Blue Sky. But you can still get involved. We still check there.
Yeah.
Yeah, so please do. So, gentlemen, it's been 2 days since the Lionesses won the Euro 2025 tournament.
Yes, it is.
And we had a bloody good time with that. Matula91 asked on Instagram, how should we honour Sarina Wiegman? Make her the new queen? A statue at Wembley, perhaps?
I'll do both.
I'd do both, yeah.
I think the reality
Plinth her.
of making her the new queen might be quite complicated, though, right? You have to overthrow the current monarchy and install a different monarchy.
Yeah,
Which, I mean, revolution-wise, quite complicated, right?
Wasn't there some absolute strangeness over the weekend with Titanic star Kate Winslet and one of the royals that I sort of
don't
missed
know.
when I was in Latvia? But I'll read up on it. I'll get back to you on
Do
that
it,
one.
yeah, please do.
Yeah, please do.
I mean, do we want to reignite the Anglo-Dutch wars of the 17th and 18th centuries and basically force a Dutch woman onto the throne?
Yes, okay.
It feels quite old England.
What, just stealing a
Someone
a
just turns
resident?
up. Someone just turns up from Holland,
There's nothing new under the sun.
gets on the throne.
History
Yeah.
repeats.
I feel-
Let's get on with it.
Joking aside, statue's got to be a must, hasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Two in
hugely.
a row.
I mean, that's
Yeah.
2 in a row, and all of the rest. I mean, good God,
It's
what a
got to
performer!
be. I mean, but is there a kind of not from me, but is there a bit of skepticism about having someone who isn't English having a statue?
To be honest,
in the team?
and I've said this from statues of Corbett et al. It's very
Where's Corbett?
It's very difficult to get the glasses right on a statue.
Where is Corbett?
Where is Corbett? There's a statue of Corbett kicking around, isn't there? I'm sure I've seen the two Ronnies
Aylesbury.
in there.
Oh no, Ronnie
Aylesbury.
Barker's in
Barker,
Aylesbury.
right, yeah.
I don't know where Corbett is.
Well, Corbett maybe deserves one. He's still with us, isn't he, Corbett?
No,
No,
long gone.
God, sorry.
Are you out of your mind?
I've
I know.
I've
I
vished
know.
it.
I know what you're thinking. You're thinking that small
Angle grinder,
dogs.
angle grinder, angle grinder, angle
I'm thinking I
grinder.
can't wait back
He's
to get
thinking
back to my angle grinder.
Small dogs live longer.
Right. Yes, I am. Like, one of them's a Labrador, one of them's a little terrier.
In March, we'll be commemorating Ronnie Corbett's 10 years of his passing.
I
So
don't
he's long gone. He's long
I'm
gone.
doing a little Ronnie Corbett.
He's long gone.
I'm
Pete.
just saying that spectacles are very hard to get right on statues, and I just worry we'll get it wrong.
But,
Yeah,
but
I mean,
but she's worth one. Is what you're saying.
she's-
is
worth one.
statue technology kind of getting better?
Come on,
though?
yeah.
Should just be
put
a
some
big
real glasses.
3D printed job. Bang.
Yeah,
Dude,
really,
they should be
really
put out now.
terrifyingly lifelike. That'll be
Yeah.
the future.
Yeah.
It's funny how technology is getting better, but unquestionably statues are getting worse.
Yes.
Aren't they? In terms of quality.
Serena, we can't give you a statue, but would you like a think piece from, I don't know, an ex-football manager who says that you could do it in the men's game? Because that's what usually happens, isn't it? Whenever she does something amazing, there's always some old footballer in the sun going, you should try and do it in the championship or something. It's like, fuck off.
I saw a Facebook comment yesterday trying to sell a steriliser. in case you're interested.
Right.
It was at the back of the cupboard from when we used to have to sterilise my son's bottles.
Yes.
The only time I go on Facebook is to go on the marketplace. I made the mistake of clicking on the home button and
See what's up there.
algorithmically served to me about Chloe Kelly.
Right.
And the first comment I saw was
abhorrent.
She wouldn't be able to play in a Sunday League men's game. It's like, what are you getting out of that?
Yeah, just write it.
You're bored of sitting at home masturbating, like Mr. Kellogg again,
Right.
and you've decided to post that comment on there. It's so fucking pointless. It's just, do you know what it is about it? It is offensive, and I get that it's super frustrating if you're a champion of the women's game or a woman. I get it, but it's just so inane.
It's hack.
It is inane.
It's just so
yeah,
boring.
It, is
like,
it just telegraphs that your brain is a boring, dusty place with something interesting happening in it.
Like you heard something 15 years ago,
Yeah.
and
Just
you're just
It's a platitude.
regurgitating it
It's a
every
platitude.
time. And you're just feeling like you have to do it because you're a prick.
But so if you watch
Load of parrots, but they're not even fun.
if you watch the Olympics, do you sit there going, "I've enjoyed that women's 100 metres final." But do you know, actually, everyone? Sorry, just pause.
Numbers aren't as impressive
Just
as
just mute the TV a second. Everyone. Just put your beer down.
Yeah.
They're not as fast as the men.
Yeah.
Thanks for that.
It's like sitting there watching the men going, yeah, but if one of them had a motorbike, he'd win. Pointless.
Motorbikes are better than men.
Yeah, but, I mean,
Right, that
with you
is.
with the vest on,
Yeah.
you look a bit like Sons of Anarchy today.
Motorbikes are better than men.
You could do Sons of Anarchy. You'd be one of the kind of quite poor henchmen in the first episode of Sons of Anarchy that gets killed.
Honestly,
Is it anarchy when it's a Taking Back Sunday shirt?
Yeah.
I've never seen the show, so I'm just making it up as I go
they're
along.
very bad at seeing life.
But anyway, in summary, yes to a statue.
No
New
to
Queen.
no to a think piece from an ex-football manager.
Yeah, and probably no to the crown could be diplomatically difficult.
Right. Okay. That's good. That's good.
But
I hope you are
the way
sated.
the world's going,
Matula 91.
the way the world's going at the moment, who knows?
Who the hell knows?
Yeah.
Jim.
CJ Wonton.
Is that CJ from Eggheads who's now dead?
He's not dead. He killed a man. He said he admitted it in his book.
He
But
thinks
then
he killed a man.
He thinks he killed a man. We've all had nights out like that, haven't we?
So CJ's erstwhile colleague, Chris Hughes of Eggheads, died.
Sadly.
Yes.
Sadly. Wish him all the best.
CJ Wonton from Instagram says, how long do you see Thomas Frank lasting this season? Cheeky question.
Yeah.
Emotionally,
it's implied in the question.
employment-wise.
It's very difficult to say, isn't it? Because Spurs have been such a basket case on the pitch last season. You've got the good and the bad. And I suppose ordinarily you would say, well, he's probably going to get a bit of a pass because they were so poor in the league last year. Any kind of improvement is going to be interesting and it's going to be a satisfactory level for people to see. But obviously won the Europa League and now they're in the Champions League, so they're fighting on different fronts.
They could do with having another Europa League campaign, couldn't they? Because a lot of the Europa teams were worse than Spurs and the ones that they certainly faced.
Every single one of them.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you don't get to relinquish the prize
could
for
they just
winning the Europa League.
I know.
Can I do this one again because it's a bit easier? No, you can't. You got to
Your choice.
You got to go into the Champions League. But also the other thing that makes it tricky to judge is the fact that Thomas Frank has been in the job at Brentford for so long,
Yes.
and the club was essentially built around him, wasn't it? So again, the sample size is essentially just one club where he had the run of the place. And of course, he did very well. No one can question how well he did at Brentford. He was absolutely fantastic. But other than that, I mean, no one listening to this show, I'm sure, really watched him much at Brøndby. Don't think he won anything at Brøndby, but who knows if he was supposed to or not. I don't. And then before that, he was an age group coach. So the sample size is small. Spurs are a basket case. You also don't know what the ownership at Spurs are going to do because they're pretty trigger happy as well. So
and also, what is his remit? Now, presumably, they want him to get regular Champions League qualification for them, as any club of that size would. But if they don't achieve that this season, is that going to be a red line or are they going to be a bit more patient? You would presume they would be a little bit more patient. So I think unless it's a disaster, which I don't think it will be, by the way, I think he'll do well there. Even without adding to the squad, because you would presume he wouldn't run the players into the ground in the same way that Postecoglou did, so their injury record probably be a little bit better this season. And we all know that squad is far better than the position it finished in. I think he will absolutely be there by the end of the season.
yeah, I do too. I think I agree with that. But at the moment we're driving blind with Frank. We just don't know. But what I think it's maybe another way of asking the question, Jim, would be, what does success look like for him for this season at Spurs? Clearly a big improvement on the league position, but you'd expect that anyway.
Yeah.
Because you can't, I mean, anything worse than what they did will be a literal disaster.
With that squad, the best they're going to get is like 7th or 8th, aren't they? I mean,
Which would be fine, right? You would think after the season they just had.
with the Champions League campaign to sort of come to go up against, I suppose.
Maybe Europa League qualification would be the bare minimum, actually.
There we go then.
Well, there you go.
Well,
I mean, I very much enjoyed the video of Thomas Frank finding out that Spurs are 66-1 to find the Premier League title in their house come the end of the season.
I mean, they're not going to win the league.
No, they're not. Well,
I'm happy to say that.
take it, 66-1.
Well, it's not going to happen. So, do I think if they played the Premier League 66 times, they'd win one of them? No, I don't.
No, Luke, 66-1. You put a pound down, you'll get 66 quid.
And your pound back.
And your pound back.
Yeah.
Do you still pay with gambling? Do you still? When I used to work in the betting shop, you had to pay. You could pay the tax on the money you put in, or the tax on your winnings.
No tax on it now.
What?
No.
Whoa! I'm going back to the turf accountancy game.
Have you heard the Danny Kelly story about that?
No.
Danny Kelly tells a brilliant story that when he was living in Islington, growing up as a young man, a new doctor's surgery opened up,
No.
and all of his family signed up to the new doctors, but Danny didn't. He stayed with his old doctor because his old doctor used to spend all day in Ladbrokes, right? And if Danny wanted a prescription, he would just go to the betting shop, tell the doctor what was wrong with him, and the doctor would write out the prescription using one of the bookings biros.
Nice.
And he'd just take it to the
Big fan of
pharmacy.
I found out what Kate Winslet's deal with Harry was. I think she backstage.
Prince Harry?
Prince Harry.
Yeah.
Well, this is the problem.
Oh, right.
She addressed him as Harry instead of my prince, which upset him reportedly, and he stormed out of the Colbert Report.
Did he really though?
Stormed out, Jim. Jimmy stormed out. There's a
Surely that's
storm.
nonsense.
Did he storm? He
Stormed out.
I wouldn't care about that.
Right.
The protocol's too confusing. I can't fucking remember all that stuff. Imagine you remembering it.
No, God knows. I'd curtsy and accidentally
Declare
headbutt someone in
war.
the stomach.
Yeah, declare war on
Sorry,
someone.
Sarina. Right, coming up after this, more mailbag from you and you, but not you. Thank you for all your responses to our rule change chat on last week's mailbag. Loads of you suggested your own changes for the new season. I enjoyed that bit of the show.
It was good.
Yeah, just that bit. Here are a couple of our favourites from RJH 4440, probably a better way to say that one. The old Wenger rule, if any part of you is onside, you're onside. Very ironic that if you are 1% offside, you're offside, but the ball could be 99.9% over the line, but it's no goal. They should be aligned. The player/ball has to be entirely past said line for it to be offside / a goal. This would create less aggro with the villainous VAR lines, and it would lead to a few more goals as well. Surely a positive step for the game. I don't mind that, to be honest.
Mourinho hates this, doesn't he? He says it will mean teams will become even more sort of defensively entrenched.
He loves that. He loves that kind of game, though, doesn't he?
Well, yeah, but I mean, probably part of the game is using the offside trap, isn't it? Very, very well. So, be an interesting one to see this trialled. It feels like it would just lead to more goals, and it'd be a lot more straightforward, doesn't it?
I suppose, yeah, but it really favours the attacking player, though, doesn't it?
Yeah.
And
As
I think
it should.
At the moment, I guess the frustration from a lot of football fans is that you see like a toe offside, and that's that. And then the rebuttal of that is, well, if you're offside, you're offside.
Yeah,
There's
and the line quite literally has to be somewhere, doesn't
exactly.
it?
Yeah.
And all you're doing here is moving the line, right? But you'll get a lot of forward players gambling a lot earlier on their runs. And the problem is, I suppose it doesn't really happen that much now because the players' shirts are really tight, aren't they? But does the shorts count?
Oh, right, okay, what you can score from, I suppose, yeah.
Because you can technically score a goal with your shorts.
Yeah.
Would it lead to
Haaland
more
did it with the old gooch, didn't he?
unwelcome erections?
He did.
Hit you over the line?
Unwelcome erections. Is there any such thing as an unwelcome
Well,
erection?
you'd probably it'd probably be better to tuck them between the legs, wouldn't it?
Tuck it in the belt?
Yeah, because you'd be more on side, wouldn't you, I suppose?
Tuck it in the belt.
Yeah, so absolutely tiny penis players would be at a premium in the transfer market. DMH 75-75, the stop-start clock. If the clock stops for every throw-in, free kick, penalty, VAR decision, you would eradicate all of the Emmy Martinez behaviour of this generation.
Again, the problem with that, though, is that the ball is in play for about 55 minutes in an average game, isn't it? So
You were a
games
fan of
would
this, weren't
be
you, Luke?
much longer.
I'm a fan of it for certain things. I'm a fan of it for VAR checks. I think you have to stop the clock for VAR checks because that's something that's coming as a Deus Ex Machina and made the game stop more difficult. I think I understand that, for example, a player being injured or a free kick being taken, like, although I'm open to the idea of a shot clock, which maybe I can come on to, but for example, a free kick being taken or a player needing treatment, they have always been part of the game. VAR, we've decided to put into it. So to me, it seems at the very least, it feels like the right thing to do to stop the clock. I just don't see any justification at all for I mean, because I've been at games where VAR decisions have gone on for
like 6 minutes. Or
6
so.
minutes.
Yeah.
You're basically taking 6 minutes out of the game. You're charging the fans the same amount. My Sky subscription doesn't come down.
No.
We're watching less football because of this admin. So if it's for admin reasons, stop the clock. There's no reason you can't do that.
Yeah.
And then on the free kick stuff, I've long said that let me take them in turns then. So you've got throw-in, free kick, penalty, VAR decision here from DMH7575. So throw-ins, I would just relax the rules entirely. And you can just, as long as your two hands are behind your head or whatever at some point, take it. That's fine. Free kick and penalties should have shot clocks.
Right, yeah.
So if I remember I said to you guys, there was an example. It was Glenn Hoddle scoring a penalty in a cup final. I completely forget the details, probably in the early 80s. And he takes the penalty so quick, there's not even enough time for the replay of the foul. Right? These days, a penalty takes minutes.
Yeah.
The final thing I would just say, by the way, is Mark Clattenburg had an interesting idea, I think on the overlap a while back, where he said, because the emailer here mentions Emi Martinez, it just put it in mind. With the goalkeepers taking ages to take free kicks to waste time, sometimes you see the referee from the halfway line give him a yellow card, right? It's very, very rare they give 2 yellow cards out for time wasting. We know that. So what happens is the goalkeepers just use it as a bit of a free hit, right? Yeah. What Clattenburg said was, give them the yellow, and from then on, if you're not prepared as a referee to send someone off for time wasting, then there needs to be a rule where if they take too long, it just gets changed to a corner.
Right, okay.
But then everyone moves all the way down the pitch. You're under pressure instantly. You're getting punished for taking the piss.
Yeah.
And you could concede. Now, of course, it works well because corners don't see that many goals from corners, but it is a threatening
It feels
action.
dangerous, yeah.
So I think that would be something I'd do. He also said for throw-ins and for piss taken on throw-ins, just give it to the other team. If it takes too long, the other team get the throw-in.
Yeah.
And if you're in your own half, that's a dangerous situation.
For some reason, I thought that might have been in the history of the game at some point. It just seems like such an obvious thing to do. If you're pissing about, if you're not going to do the throw-in, we'll do the throw-in.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
someone else.
Yeah. And finally, for now, from Oscar X on YouTube, after our chat about great names in baseball, NASCAR had Dick Trickle, which is a
Dick
fabulous
Trickle's a great name.
Yeah, and not something Mr. Kellogg will be up for. Luke.
Well, what about this then from Andrew Dolan? Should the Premier League stop clubs massing a player bank, i.e. Chelsea and Liverpool buying players en masse? It restricts competition. Cap the amount of players per team, squad and academy only. We've also had a lot of questions about a possible new top 4 emerging of Liverpool, Man City, Arsenal and Chelsea based on the huge spending that's happened this year. That's a kind of slightly separate point. But, I mean, Jim, before I throw this to you, what I would say is, of course, Premier League squads are restricted, right? 25 players, 8 have to be homegrown, 17 can be bought in, and then you get as many under 21s as you want. So there are these rules in place. So what do you make of this point from Andrew?
That extra context kind of explains how Chelsea in particular operate, isn't it? Because a lot of the players they sign, they are very, very young and they loan them out. And obviously they're part of the multi-club model as well. So that's an extension of that where they have these extra sort of landing spots. I suppose, should clubs be able to essentially just kind of collect young players and use them as kind of their own kind of personal marketplace, right? That is essentially what Chelsea are doing. And this is not a criticism of them because they're operating within the current rules and they're exploiting it better than any club in the world. I don't know really.
They're also used like art is used by criminal gangs.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
They're not intrinsically worth any money. They're just like, we've got this.
Yeah. To me, it feels a bit like a combination of different things that are making this happen. One is, as you said, Jim, the kind of the introduction of multi-club ownership, which clearly is a massive conflict of interest that the authorities haven't done anything about. And we've seen it happen with, with issues around qualifying for European tournaments. A European competition like the Crystal Palace and Lyon thing. There was an issue with the World Cup as well. Club Lyon couldn't play for that same reason. We've seen another variation on how problematic it is, given that Chelsea are about to sell João Felix to a Saudi club who are owned by the PIF, who also have a stake in Chelsea. Okay,
Clear Lake.
They have a stake in Clear Lake, which owns Chelsea. No one's doing anything about this stuff. It may well be they can't do anything about it because of international boundaries and laws and all the rest of it. But the other thing that plays into it is that, again, that old thing I always talk about on this show, particularly, it seems it comes up over and over again, is EPPP, right? EPP was introduced, the Elite Player Performance Plan, because the Premier League held the Football League clubs to ransom for the money they needed. And one of the things about EPP was it involved the abandoning of the 90-minute rule, which basically said if you are from, say, Portsmouth and you're a young academy player, you would only previously have been able to join an academy within a 90-minute drive of your home. That was abandoned, which now meant that if you're the best thing to come out of Portsmouth for years, you can go to the Chelsea Academy. I mean, you possibly would have even been able to go to the Chelsea Academy then because it's not that far away. But you know what? The Man City Academy, the Liverpool Academy, the Newcastle Academy.
Campervan footballers.
Campervan footballers.
You live in a campervan.
Exactly. That's made it a lot more imbalanced because one of the main ways that clubs who aren't the big clubs can survive, of course, is by producing their own players. The moment we stop making it incentivised to produce your own players as a football team, the moment you lose a massive aspect of what the game's all about. So all this stuff comes into play. I don't think the current rules are going far enough in stopping this hoarding of players. So something does need to happen. I would just say, maybe you have to find a way, although it's not going to be easy, of getting that 90-minute rule back in. So if you're a young kid who grew up in Kent, you're not going to be poached by the Man City Academy. You're just not going to be because it's not right. But until that, I mean, it's like, again, with these types of things, very hard to unring a bell. Very difficult to make the argument that's ever going to change now.
You might also look at it from the position of that young player where they might think, well, hang on, I want to go and play in the City Academy or the Liverpool Academy. I want to go and test myself. So again, very, very difficult.
But you can do it.
That.
You can, but when you're at a certain age.
Sure, right.
You can't do it. You can't do it when you're very young.
The Chelsea thing, I think everyone criticised it as being, well, this is never going to work, but it really is starting to work, isn't it?
Yeah.
They have managed to amass a huge amount of income from that.
And I do think another complication is when you look at the players, if you look at the clubs who are in the Champions League and they're looking at sort of, if a season goes well for you, you might have like 60 odd games in it. So you need a large squad, and obviously a lot of that is bolstered by younger players because of that rule.
Well, because different competitions have different rules for squads.
Sure.
So you can register different squads for different competitions, right? That's the whole point of it. That's what Chelsea are doing, aren't they?
Yeah, but that is another argument as to why you might want flexibility on the size of your squad if you're in the position that these clubs are in.
Got on Blue Sky, Jim?
He says, should Newcastle be acting now and already buying a replacement for Isak? Regardless, if he stays for the time being, he clearly wants out and we already needed at least one striker. And who should the club be looking at?
Yeah, I mean,
they need to sign strikers. We said this yesterday.
They need to sign strikers, but I mean, obviously they're losing Callum Wilson. Obviously, as you said on Friday's show, Luke, he's a busted flush, and he's not really been able to perform at any sort of level for a little while now. But yeah, they need bodies, and they need it soon. They just need goals in the side. Obviously, Šeško's the one that everyone's talking about. Looks like Leipzig are looking at life after him leaving the club, so it looks like he's definitely out there. But I think Man United are the other team that are involved. You'd take Newcastle over Man United at this point, wouldn't you?
What about?
Yeah, you think so?
Who should the club be looking at? What about Alexander Mitrovic?
Bring him back, for crying out loud. He's got to stay out there for another season, though, hasn't he, to make his money?
Otherwise he gets hammered for tax.
Hammered for tax, yeah. It's a real shame that. Yeah.
Jim, you like Nicholas Jackson, don't you? He's been linked.
I do think Nicholas Jackson has a higher ceiling than we've seen from him. I think it'd be an interesting fit at Newcastle, especially how elbow heavy he was the last time they played. I think it would probably be, it would definitely be an underwhelming signing in comparison to Isak when you were probably expecting to hang on to Isak this summer, right, Pete? Is that a fair reflection of how Newcastle fans felt?
I think that's pretty much there.
So it's a downgrade for sure, but that's the situation that Newcastle find themselves in there, isn't it? So
we were saying this all season, Andy was saying, like, fine, you make 120 million out of it. Who can you buy at that level? Who's performing at that level?
I honestly think that Johan Wissa is probably the best for now option of the players that they're looking at. So if they can get that over the line, and obviously if they get the money coming in from Isak, they'll be able to give Brentford whatever it is they want. But obviously Brentford are going to really try and keep him, given that they've lost Mbumo.
He's a little on the
many other players as
he's
well.
He's a little on the older side, but he does.
Well, he's for now, isn't he? That's what I mean. Like, if he's a player, you get him in there a couple of seasons at least, and then obviously you kick that can down the road, and you have to go and get someone else later. But maybe someone emerges. Maybe Sesko stays at Leipzig and is a bit more developed, and then he comes in and he's the main man. And obviously Wissa can play kind of out wide as well. I think he's the best available option personally.
I would agree with that. I think that's right.
But you're kind of in a situation where they're a bit chaotic behind the scenes, aren't they, Newcastle United, and they've just found it very hard to get anything sorted.
Yeah, Elanga's in though. I feel like we everyone's kind of forgotten about Elanga because everything else has been happening. But he's a really exciting sign.
He scored at the weekend. He scored.
There we go.
He's also a lot younger than I realise, even though every time I learn how old he is, it's like, oh yeah. He's younger than I thought. It simply won't stay in my head. It feels like he's been around for ages because of Man United.
Will the positives never end? Let's finish with this from Charlie then. He says, Pete, if you could choose either Alexander Isak stays at Newcastle or you could have a weekend in your shed with Sir Les Ferdinand, which would it be?
Now, players move on all the time, right? We all have to live with that in football.
Yeah.
You're not getting Sir Les in your shed.
And is the shed like a Big
often.
Brother type situation where you can't leave? Like this, it's like a series of challenges.
Oh no, like an
diary room,
an escape room with Les Ferdinand.
You'd melt. You'd absolutely melt if you were in an escape room situation with Sir Les.
I'd
you just do whatever he said.
Bear in mind, though, it is his shed, so only Sir Les needs to escape,
and the lights are off. So
and the angle grinder's grinding.
I would allow him to. I'd allow him carte blanche. He can play with all my toys. He can look in all my cupboards.
You better wash them first.
Not that kind of toy. He can play with all my wrestling figures. He can do whatever he wants because he's Les Ferdinand.
What would Les Ferdinand think?
I don't think I'd have what he needs. If Les Ferdinand came around my house, I don't know how I'd entertain him.
It's exactly like when Alan Partridge goes back to Jed's house and he turns the light on and there's just pictures of him everywhere. You can play with all my wrestling figures.
You can play with all my wrestling figures. I just think I'd serve the wrong wine or the wrong food.
In your shed?
Want. Yeah, I'd be serving wine.
What are you serving?
Pete's favourite, a little Bordeaux, cheeky little Bordeaux.
And what about the food?
Fish sticks. A lot of fish sticks in the house at the moment.
Any sauerkraut tincture?
No. How about with fish fingers?
So you'd rather have Alex Isak stay at Newcastle, or would you rather have a weekend in your apology cabin?
I think I'd rather Alexander Isak stay at Newcastle because I just do not know what I'd do with Les Ferdinand.
If the partner you have access to came down the shed that weekend,
she'd be confused.
Would she know who Sir Les was?
Yes, because I've shown her pictures of him saying, "Isn't he lovely?"
That's adorable, isn't it?
Would she be happy to find you in there with the Sir Les, do you think?
You're allowed one, aren't you? You're allowed you one.
Would you have your vest on?
He's on the list. He's in the top 5.
Vest on?
Yeah.
No pants?
Yeah. Well, it's long enough. It would cover everything.
Socks? Would you have your socks?
I think so. Yeah.
Vest and a pair of socks.
Socks, boots, and just a long top.
What's the first thing you're asking him?
Do you want to help me put up these shelves, Les?
Yeah.
I've been meaning to do this for ages.
Yeah.
And now I've got...
Why would you be from a different part of the north when you ask that question?
Hello, Les. Because if I'm not from the northeast, he'll go, uh-oh.
Oh, right.
Trouble at Mill.
Yeah.
I'm getting out of here.
Yeah.
We're clawing at the walls.
Someone also asked here, Peter, what piece of football memorabilia would you most want in your apology cabin?
Oh, it's interesting, isn't it?
Sir Les.
Shawler's apple.
Oh, that's good.
Nice.
Apple.
That's really good. Yeah, very
one
nice.
of those. The council is introducing big Sulo bins in our street, so maybe I could have one of those ones that was used in lieu of a ice bath at Newcastle, Jimbo under Ashley.
I think the Shola's apple would be great. Yeah. That'd be really good. In like a vacuum packed box.
Which is attached to the front of that same bike.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, thank you for listening to the Football Ramble Mailbag, part of the Cash Creator Network. We're going to be back tomorrow.
We'd like to have people get in touch. What the kind of stuff you could do in your shed with Les Ferdinand?
Yeah, get in touch. Yeah, let us know what just ideas, puzzles.
Because if it takes on a life of its own, and we can find a sponsor. Don't think Les is that busy.
Yeah.
Yes, exactly.
Could Les do 40? That's a great series idea. Which footballers or people from the world of football can spend 48 hours in Pete's shed with Pete?
If we don't do it, Mr. Beast will.
I can see the clock in the bottom corner. You've been the Mr. Beast of terrorising footballers.
I've only got a second name.
What is it? Donaldson. Jimmy Donaldson.
Jimmy Donaldson.
Pete Donaldson, yeah.
Jimmy Donaldson. Yes, please do send your responses, opinions, and questions for next week's mailbag and subscribe on YouTube or wherever you get your podcasts. Now,
tell you who else could spend 48 hours in your shed with you? Denise Welsh.
back to the grinding.
Fucking hell.
Yeah! We are recording this pretty much straight after the Euro 2025 win.
Yeah. Do it again.
So, gentlemen, it's 2 days since the Euro 2025.
You okay? Is it the angle grinder?
I think I need to get the angle
Take it to
grinder
your
out.
brain. It's your own brain.
I can't think about anything else, can you?
So, gentlemen, it's 2 days since Sarina Wiegman took her Lionesses to win the Euro 2025.
2025.
25.
2025.
Euro 2025.
2025.
Euro 2025.
Yeah. Yeah. You look a bit of a prat if you get an anger grinder and have a bit of a flex and you can't say the word 25.
It's the spark.
It's the sparks.